man named David is 45 years old, and on paper he is the embodiment of the modern dream. He lives in a sprawling home with a 5-car garage that houses machines he rarely has time to drive. He sits in a corner office with a panoramic view of the city. A view he mostly sees through the reflection of his computer screen late at night. But David has a secret. He hasn't slept more than 5 hours a night in 3 years. His kids barely recognize him because he's always on a conference call or a flight. He has chronic back pain from sitting at a desk for 12 hours a day, and his closest friends are people who only call him when they want a business favor. By every standard definition we're taught in school and by the media, David is wealthy. But if you ask David, in a moment of total honesty, if he felt rich, he would tell you he feels like a prisoner in a golden cage. Most of us spend our entire lives chasing a single type of wealth, the one with the dollar sign attached to it. We sacrifice our time, our health, and our relationships to watch a digital number go up, assuming that once it hits a certain level, everything else will magically fall into place. But what if I told you that financial wealth is actually the least important form of wealth when it comes to living a happy life? What if there are actually 5 distinct types of wealth, and if you're missing even one of them, the others start to feel hollow? Today, we're going to break down the wealth pentagon. We'll explore why some billionaires are actually poor and how you might already be richer than you think in ways that money can't buy. The problem is the single-track mind. We live in a culture that treats money as the ultimate scoreboard. From the time we are kids, the question is always, what do you want to be when you grow up? And what that usually means is, how do you plan on making a lot of money? This creates a psychological blind spot. We become so focused on the financial wealth track that we treat everything else, our health, our hobbies, our families, as expenses or distractions on the way to the goal. It's like trying to build a house using only bricks, but no mortar, no wood, and no glass. You might end up with a very large pile of bricks, but you won't have a home. The mistake most people make is believing that money is the source of a good life. In reality, money is just a fuel. And just like a car, if you have 1,000 gallons of fuel but the engine is seized, the tires are flat, and you have nowhere to go, all that fuel is useless. To build a truly rich life, we have to understand the 5 different currencies we are spending every single day. Number 1, financial wealth. This is the fuel. We aren't going to pretend money doesn't matter. Financial wealth is the ability to sustain your lifestyle without being forced to trade your time for a paycheck. But here is the psychological insight most people miss. The goal of financial wealth isn't to buy things, it's to buy options. Think about Sarah. She makes $100,000 a year but spends $110,000. She has a nice car and a big TV, but she is poor. She is one missed paycheck away from a crisis. Then there's Mike, who makes $50,000, but spends $30,000. Mike is wealthy because he has the freedom to say no. He can say no to a toxic boss, no to a job he hates, and no to stress. Financial wealth is simply the gap between your ego and your income. The smaller your ego, the less money you need to feel wealthy. Number 2, social wealth. This is the quality of your relationships. It's about the 3 a.m. rule. If you had a genuine crisis at 3 in the morning, how many people could you call who would pick up the phone and help you without asking questions? In our modern world, we are more connected than ever, yet social isolation is at an all-time high. We trade deep, meaningful connections for shallow likes. Psychologically, humans are tribal. We are wired to need belonging. You can have all the money in the world, but if you're eating your expensive steak dinner alone every night, your brain will still send you poverty signals in the form of depression and anxiety. Social wealth also includes your respect in the community, not as a flashy display, but as the trust people place in you. Number 3, physical wealth. This is the vehicle. This is the one we almost always sacrifice first. We pull all-nighters to get the promotion. We skip the gym because we're too busy making money. But here's the cold, hard truth. A sick man only has one dream. A healthy man has 1,000. Imagine you were offered $1 billion today, but the catch is you have to spend the rest of your life in a hospital bed. Would you take it? Of course not. That proves that your health is worth more than $1 billion. Physical wealth is the multiplier for everything else. If your health is at a 0, it doesn't matter what your bank balance is. The total will always be 0. Number 4. Time wealth. This is the quiet wealth. Time wealth is the ability to own your schedule. It's the freedom to choose what you do, when you do it, and who you do it with. Think about the corporate ladder trap. You get a $20,000 raise, but your new role requires 10 more hours of meetings a week, and you have to be on call during weekends. Did you actually get wealthier? In terms of financial wealth, yes. In terms of time wealth, you just became bankrupt. You sold 500 hours of your life per year for a marginal gain. The wealthiest person isn't the one with the most money. It's the one with the most sovereignty over their own Tuesday morning. If you can wake up and decide to go for a walk or play with your kids without asking for permission, you are richer than 90% of the CEOs in the world. Number 5. Mental wealth. This is the state of your internal world. It's your level of peace, your curiosity, and your ability to be present. There are people living in mansions who are constantly tormented by the fear of losing what they have. They have 0 mental wealth. Then, there are people with very little who have a profound sense of gratitude and stillness. Mental wealth is the lens through which you see the other 4 types. If your lens is cracked, if you are struggling with unaddressed trauma or constant comparison, it doesn't matter how beautiful the view is. You won't see it. This also includes intellectual wealth, the constant pursuit of learning. A person who is curious and constantly growing will always feel rich because the world is full of new things to discover. The secret to a truly wealthy life is rebalancing. Most people think of these as 5 separate buckets, but they are actually more like 5 gears in a machine. If you spin the financial gear too fast, it can actually strip the teeth off the social and physical gears. Throughout your life, you will naturally trade one form of wealth for another. When you are 22, it makes sense to trade some time to build your financial foundation. But the mistake is never stopping that trade. Many people reach their 50s, they have plenty of money, but they are still trading their health and their time for more money they don't actually need. They've spent so long being a worker that they don't know how to be a human. True wealth building is knowing when you have enough in the financial category, so you can start investing in the others. I want you to try something. Look at your life right now and give yourself a score from 1 to 10 in each of the 5 categories: financial, social, physical, time, and mental. What you'll likely find is that you are rich in some areas and bankrupt in others. If you have a 10 in money but a 2 in health, your next investment shouldn't be a stock. It should be a better sleep routine or a personal trainer. Wealth is not a destination, it's a balance. We often hear the phrase, time is money, but that's a lie. You can always get more money. You can never get more time. True wealth is the ability to live life on your own terms. Don't spend your life trying to be the richest person in the room. Spend your life trying to be the most complete person in the room, because at the end of the day, when the game is over, the gold coins don't go into the coffin with you. But the life you lived, the people you touched, and the peace you found, that is the only wealth that actually lasts. So, which of the 5 types are you going to invest in today? Don't forget to like and subscribe. My name is Jiren and we will meet in next video.